by the time he brings up the deck, we have been discussing intelligent building, smart building, and we spoke about what is the differentiation between smart and intelligent. But when we move out to a larger community, whether it is from campus standpoint or from city standpoint, the dynamics changes further. Fact remains that even in cities, we talk about digital cities, we talk about intelligent cities, smart cities, but what's the reality? Reality is that city can be smart only and only if buildings are also smart, and cities can be smart if they take care of the concerns and the requirements of the citizens, because it's not only about technology, it's about interface and experience which we all can have as a citizen. If we take 2 hours in 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers, then doesn't matter how efficient or how the smart city is, that one single matter can hit us. So we have been having multiple aspects when it comes to cities, whether it is from a participation of people perspective, the kind of technologies which need to be there, and then how do we have public services worked out, and the most important now, the sustainability aspect. Every organization is announcing that they will be net zero by so and so date. And when country is announcing net zero by 2070, it means that individual units have to start becoming net zero starting 2030, 2040, 2050. And that's what we are doing. But when we look at technologies landscape, there are so many things. We can keep getting into individual technologies, but that's not the only aspect. That is one of the aspects when we look at the cities. And this is a continuous journey. At one time we had siloed systems, we moved into connecting those systems, then moving into the integrated operations, the smartness which is about taking things into account. But is that the end? In reality, no. Because smartness can get you certain things. Let's imagine a city which has autonomous vehicle, which has a V2X and a next generation fuel tech. Can it be real now? 5 years back, we would have hardly thought of it. But now it's clearly visible that in next few years, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, this will become real. Can we assume that there is a AI-driven public safety? So while we do have cameras as eyes, what all can be done? Is security the only thing? Public safety is the only thing which this can deliver, besides running image analytics or video analytics for public safety and security? Can it be used for 20 other purposes? In a building, do we need a motion sensor? In today's world, no. If we have a building with cameras, image analytics can give a real-time input from motion standpoint. So can we reduce number of sensors and make things affordable? Can we reduce number of sensors and reduce the complication in technology? Because technology doesn't mean that we put millions and millions of sensors and collect multiple terabytes per day. Because reality remains that globally the amount of data which is available effectively used is less than 15%. And more than 60% is not even touched after collection. And especially in IoT world. In IT world still these ratios are different. But in IoT world, 60% data is collected and never even looked at. We keep getting sensor data every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 1 minute, depending on the frequency you want. But do we really analyze that data? Do we really take actions based on that data? Is an issue. Can we think of a city which works as an app? We all have smartphones, right? Why should we go to any government office? I think we all have forgotten going to banks already. At best, we go to ATM, that also has come down. I have not visited an ATM for last 6 months. No need. Can we avoid, or can we have a situation where government is available as an app? Rest all is working behind. E-governance is well spoken, e-governance is reality, but to an extent. Birth certificate, the death certificate, so there are some 6, 8, 10 applications we talk about. But why only that? Everything. If I get see a pothole, I should be able to click a picture, upload that as a problem, and within 3 days it should be fixed. It's already happening in India in electronics. Every citizen in electronic city can make all possible complaints, whether it is street light, it is traffic signal issue, it's a traffic unnecessary wait time, or pothole or whatever, and that automatically gets logged and triggers an action. So there is a lot which can happen. Can we think of a city which is cognitive? So smart is not the end. Now what is the difference between smart and cognitive? We were talking about we have a BMS or intelligent building management, but we are not using it. Do we have an engineer qualified enough to take action on that? But why do we need an engineer? Can that system be cognitive to even eliminate an engineer? Can an engineer or an operator be a backup than a main guy? Is cognitive city a dream? Yes. Is it only a dream? No. There are communities which are moving to this stage system by system. Of course, we can't think of a city becoming cognitive altogether in one shot. So they are system by system, it's happening. And we can pick any system. The system which is most crucial, which has highest impact, like energy, like water, like waste, like traffic, can they be cognitive? And then we have other things which are cognitive. Can we think of a zero waste city? Can we think of a net zero city? These are all realities these days. Some people have taken some steps, and this building, as Balaji sir spoke about, is one such example. I will not call it as only a building. This is as good as a mini city. It has many elements which a city has. Of course, the benefit is that it's a single ownership. In a city, there are multiple ownership. So complexity goes up because of that. But when we are talking about intelligent buildings, we are basically enabling a city to become smart or cognitive. Without a smart building, we can't assume a city to be cognitive. Let me take one example of water. Now, can there be a situation when water supply is regulated based on consumption? We can put sensors, water quality monitors, smart meters, all that is fine. But can we regulate water supply based on the actual consumption? Can we have a data of individual household tank in terms of fill level, and we ensure that no household tank will be less than 50% or less than 30%? That's the cognitive part I'm talking about. That means clearly that buildings need to have that basic intelligence and smartness. They need to open up data sharing with the community and the city. This need to be integrated with the distribution tanks, overhead tanks for their fill-in, and then have a real-time AI-based distribution system which takes into account what are the different miles from where distribution is happening and how do we regulate it. If my layout of my area's overhead water tank itself is empty, then of course the city supply need to fill it. Now, do we have an efficient water system today? Every building is putting up their own borewell. Is it sustainable? Bangalore is out of water. Yes. We all know that 80% of Bangalore is served with tanker water for few months, and 30% of Bangalore is served with tanker water for a whole year. Is it sustainable? We are talking about we will make things green, and we will burn fuel in supplying water itself. Water with the sheer waste. And why is it so? Because distribution systems are not planned and managed and maintained well. Ultimately, water is coming from somewhere, right? Then only it is getting into tanker, and then only it's reaching household and buildings and layouts. Why can't it be through a fixed distribution system with cognitive intelligence? One reason, of course, is the leakage of water. Statistics say that irrespective of country, 90% plus countries have water leakage in tune of 10% plus. That's huge. Only 10% countries or cities could manage it less than 10%. I have not even taken into account the evaporation part in this, because there are open reservoirs which result in evaporation. We are doing a project with a city in Saudi Arabia on water life cycle management, and we were surprised to see some of these real data. Till then we were reading more of the data which is published, but when we started collecting data for designing the system, it was eye-opener. And that too in a country which is anyway water scarce. Fresh water is a major problem in that country, and they are putting seawater to freshwater plants and all that. So it's a complete life cycle management which is important and make things cognitive. And same thing applies to intelligent and adaptive traffic management. Same thing applies to energy distribution and management. Another aspect which is an important thing when we are talking about intelligent and smart and all is data. Can we share data? Can we secure? Anyway, there is a topic in discussion for that. So I will not touch upon the security part, but can we share data to right intended people? Everywhere data is in abundance. Every building has a data, host of data. Every traffic system or sort of traffic signal also have data which is important. Hospitals have data. Can we get all this data? One, use it for effective management, controls. Second, use it to generate economy or the pump in an economy also. Because there are so many consumers who are ready to pay for it. And it can be used without compromising on personal information. So PI anonymization can be real. They don't need to know that whether Rajneesh is doing X. They want to know that people with a profile like Rajneesh are doing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good enough for them to pay for it. So that's one area which world is moving towards, and there is cognizance in India, of course. iDAC is a platform launched by Ministry of Our Development, where they are integrating data from various cities. All smart cities data will be integrated along with private sector data, whosoever volunteer to share, and then build up intelligence as well as data exchange over and above that. So that's the brief, and thank you very much for your patience and time.